booting up. And let's start. Alrighty. Today, my camera is crooked. That's a good start. Come on now. That's better. Is it better? Yeah, it's better. Alright. Uh, Today we're gonna just mess around in Skyrim, and I figured we could talk about everyone else's ideas. It's not just about me, it's a community, and I wanna hear everybody else's ideas. I wanna see your links. I wanna see your homebrew. I just wanna see it all. So I figured I'd kind of dedicate a stream to that. I might do this multiple times a week, but for now we'll just do it today. Um, I'm not exactly sure my whole schedule yet. We're learning as we go. Um, so yeah, I figured I'd just mess around in the little world that I found that I started not too long ago, and then we can go from there. Um, so, just kind of a chill little stream that I can talk to people in, hopefully meet more people in the community, learn more about everybody that comes around on my stream. I just want to hear more about everybody else's ideas, so it's not just me. All right, here we go. All right, everything looks good. Looks like it's working. If you hear random chat noises, that's because my husband will be getting on his lunch break sometime soon. All right. Don't know why Minecraft is taking so long to load up, but what are you gonna do? Oh, don't freeze. I've never tried running this while I'm also streaming, so we'll see. It'd be really funny if my computer is actually relatively good. I mean, she's old. She needs some updates, but uh yeah. There we go. All good. All right. So, yeah, this world that I started here was the weirdest thing. I think something happened with the forming of the world itself, the seed, because whoops. You'll see here that I have all this terracotta, and I've got a cauldron. I've got a bunch of stuff. I didn't build that. That all came from back here. It's very weird. I've never had this happen in Minecraft before. Um, but I'm just, digging through, looking for stuff, and came out this way. And I found a bunch of stuff in here, like buried in the walls. The terracotta and the cauldron were all buried inside the walls here, which was very weird. It's now all cleared out. It was super weird. And on the other side there's a village, so I'm guessing that it like half formed itself or whatever inside the mountain, and like just the rest of it didn't make it basically. So that was super weird. But it's all mine now, so there's that. Um, Now it's just kind of mining for resources. I started this world, not too long ago. Um, just because I was bored and wanted to do something. Um, so, good old classic Minecraft. I have a hope to make this kind of a save, not necessarily a role-playing save, but a save where I build a little witchy hut right next, or right near a, oh, hello, how are you? Ow! Oh, pincer maneuver, smart. Go away, there we go. And you, where are you all coming from? Get out of here. Okay, okay, you guys need to stop spawning right there. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Alright. Oh, there's a big old cave down there. That would be why. Let me eat my potato first. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, good to know. If I need more coal or anything. Here we go. So yeah, this stream is gonna be a little bit more laid back, less of a exact plan. Just wanted to give people an opportunity to talk about their stuff on on stream. I want to learn about other people's ideas, um, and figured Minecraft is a good keeping your hands busy kind of stream, but doesn't take too much of your attention while you're trying to talk to people and learn about their ideas. So, um, let's see. I've got my I need animals. That's what I need probably next. But yeah, so far I've gotten a lot of cool people in talking about their ideas and the crazy work they do in the TTRPG sphere, or as was the case yesterday, talking to Crafty Kaiju, talking about how they've created an entire like LARPing company, which is crazy. Um, and at one point ran a LARP for like 60 people. And that is super cool and also something I would never do. But good on them for doing it. Um, and that was very cool to learn about. LARPing is not something that I've ever delved into. Don't know if I ever will. I'm a big Vampire the Masquerade a player, but I've only been with the one group for uh, more than a decade. So I've never gone out to try LARPing necessarily, but it sounds super super cool to do. Oh, one thing I want to do. So let's see. I'm gonna do the good old classic. Uh, Make a big old tall tower so I know where the hell I live if I travel too far. I haven't gotten to the top of this yet, um, so I can definitely do that. But yeah, and then Stinks and jeez, Love Murder Rose. There we go. They were both very very cool to have on the stream because they had so many cool ideas. They showed me that they statted out Kratos from the God of War franchise as an NPC that their characters inevitably tried to fight and heartily lost. What are you gonna do? That kind of thing. And then we were talking about like a race of people of like possum folk, which I desperately want to add into my Feywild campaign. Um, so eventually that might happen. Okay, here we go. So yeah, it's already been a plethora of ideas that I've gotten from people that just dropped into the stream, all of which I so appreciate that they're even giving me that chance um, to share their ideas here and let other people maybe run across them and talk about them and learn about them. And I just think it's super cool, and that's what I love about the RPG community is like so many people are so willing to just offer things, offer help, offer home brews. And like, make no mistake, I'm not much of a home brewer. I'm not the mechanically minded. Whoop! Hello, Mr. Skeleton. Ow! Already. Hello. I'm not the mechanically minded, not nearly as much as I should be anyway. Um, I'd like to be more of one, but make no mistake that homebrewers bust their asses doing what they do. It is extremely hard to do what they do, and I appreciate homebrewers because honestly, they're like the reason half of my games go as well as they do is because they take the time to build these crazy things. Man, this guy's got the fucking great idea. Is that a ship? What is that? What is that? Is that a ship? Like in the ice? Oh man, this little village goes farther than I thought it did. Don't fall. Well, shit. How about that? All right. Cool. Anyway, homebrewers and I don't even get me started on the actual game designers, the people that make entire new games just because they want to. They believe in that their game can do something better, and they're right 99% of the time. Um, oh, there's some. Hang on, I'm gonna mess up this guy's house. Um, and just how many of them are like on itch.io and stuff like that, where they offer their amazing works completely for free. Um, when they could, try to sell it or what have you, or just, pay what you want. They all work so damn hard. I have thousands of games on my hard drive that I will never have the time to play. But you see something like that, and you're just like, I must have that. They clearly put a lot of love into it, and I want it. Um, and I'm sure they would rather up me actually play it. And I've played some. I do a lot of solo RPGs, which I might stream someday. Uh, but you know, I'm never gonna be able to play all of the games. What is this? Oh, Jesus Christ! Creeper in the tree. I was like, that sounds weird. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in your house. I'm gonna hang out in your house. Okay, Jesus Christ, I was not prepared. I just gotta get my hearts back up. But homebrewers and game designers, they work so hard and then they give it to you free or freely available, and they go, "Here, I made this awesome thing." Um, whether it be solo or otherwise, is just I'm amazed. I don't. I have yet to attempt such a thing of design or giving my ideas freely available, except for the stream, of course. But it's a little different when you put it all in writing and let people kind of fuck around, tear it apart however they will, because we all know that the internet can be an unkind place. Um, and to open yourself up to that, oh, an emerald, can lead to, some hurt. Make no mistake, it's something that it just happens when you open yourself up to such a thing. So for these people, these homebrewers and whatnot, having the bravery to sit. Oh my God. I didn't. It's good. His house is fine. Um, for these people to have that bravery to put out their creativity and just let people go at it is very cool and very brave. And I appreciate every single one of them. Excuse me. I'm getting choked up talking about homebrewers. Oh God, that guy's gonna shoot me in the face. Oh, he's missing. Thank God. Um. Oh God, go away. Shoot. No, no, no. How many of there are you? How many of there are you? Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hang out here for a minute. Okay. I don't know which side my house is actually on from here. We'll see if we can find out. Um. But yeah, I think it's on this side. Okay. Um. Homebrewers and just people that have that creativity bursting from them are just they're the ones that keep the community going. Like, ain't no doubt about it, and they're awesome for doing so. I mean, it just that's how the whole hobby started. Is just a bunch of nerds that decided, hey, we can make something fun. No idea if it's gonna be profitable, but let's make some books and see what we can do. And they did it, and now 30, 40 years later, you've got things like Critical Role and the D&D movie, and and then outside of D&D, and D, you've got some crazy ass, uh, actual plays by other people out there playing just the plethora of available systems. And it's it's so awesome to have that community, and just the nerds keep on going, and it's awesome to see. I always appreciate it when I find something new. And sorry, excuse me. That's I'm gonna get pushed off this cliff, and I'm gonna learn real quick not to chat and play at the same time in the middle of the night. Okay. Oop, yep, see? Oh my god. Ooh, buddy. All right. Creepers are here. Good Jesus. Okay. There we go. Sorry, saying hi to my husband, who's currently on break. But yeah, and I don't have a lot to offer in that respect. Certainly not right now, to the community. But if I can offer, a jumping off point, a place for people to talk about their cool ideas that, published or not, they're coming up with cool stuff. Almost died. Um, I want to do that, and I think it's a valuable thing to do. Um, Hopefully, other people agree. We'll see. Um, there we go. Classic beacon. I'm gonna hang out here for a second. Um, yeah, so that's my idea for streams like this that come in if I don't have an idea for something to build as a DM, or if I don't have the energy for it or what have you. I want to at least offer, whoops, there we go. At least offer a place to have people come and tell their ideas, and there are lots of places to do that, but I'm hoping to have somebody directly talk to you about it. And I'm not going to be unkind to people about it. I mean, that can definitely, uh, I'm sure, put a damper on people's creative juices. Um, so whether people are asking for, general, creative, excuse me, critique, or otherwise, I am not the person. I can represent the average roleplay based player slash DM. Um, Outside of that, I am not the person that does a lot of um, a lot of numbers, like I said, but I can offer an honest opinion and an earnest opinion, and one that I I'm not I'm not a professional anything really, but I think I can offer at least a perspective that might be good to have for those of us, out there that are looking for exactly that. An average somebody that doesn't do this professionally but loves the hobby, loves the community, and wants to offer their voice, small as it is, to the people that might need a suggestion, or just to say, hey, this is awesome, and I want it in my game, that kind of thing. And, as far as I'm concerned, my payback for that is maybe I get to use it in my game, that kind of thing. Um, so yeah, that's my initial idea for this sort of thing. Something I can offer, something I can do to try to uplift others in the community that are trying to add to it, rather than, just consume, consume, consume. They actually are trying to keep it going, and I want it to keep going too. So that's what I can offer as of right now. Uh, so yeah, just, talking. we got to talking about it in previous streams, and I'm hoping to keep that going because it's out rude. It's an important part of the community. That open communication, that honest communication, and a perspective from an average player. So, um, and if it comes down to it, my husband is a very mechanically minded gentleman, so maybe he'll, jump in and give his opinion of another perspective. So at the very least, I can offer up to two perspectives on whatever it is that you want to be looked at, and I will be nice about it. So I can promise you that part at least. Are these pumpkin seeds? Yeah, I don't want to grow pumpkins right now. All right, so hi, cartography. Yes, I saw that you followed me not too long ago after I followed you, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for dropping by. I enjoy your maps very much. I always love a good map. I have always wanted to learn to draw them for myself. I'm kind of the scratch paper, do my best with a grid kind of person. Uh, so seeing your amazing creations was a highlight, and I can't wait to see more. I love anything map related. I really do. You put a map in a book, in the front of a book or the back of the book. I'm in. I need more. This is a ship frozen by ice. How cool is that? Oh crap! I didn't know that could happen. Anyway, so yeah, I greatly appreciate you dropping by and saying hi, and I love your work, and I'd love to see what you're working on. Tell me all about it. Tell me about any games you're in, or are you that you're running, or what have you. Yeah, of course. I know how much work that stuff is, so I greatly appreciate people like you that put their blood, sweat, and tears into their art and then just go, hey, look at this amazing stuff that I made. Anyone else out there watching, please go hang out, go check out Arcane Cartography's amazing maps because holy crap, they're awesome. Um, how long have you been drawing maps and stuff? Did that start as like a hobby, or has it always been something you've wanted to do professionally? I'm sure you've answered these questions before, so I apologize if this is something you're repeating. Alright, what's the tool to use on ice? Ah, that one. Okay, that makes sense. I could pour over maps forever, even if it's like a world I'm not familiar with. It's just cool to look at. Alrighty. And if that was just a drive-by drop-in, that is totally fine, Arcane. I'm not gonna hold you to it. I'm sure you got lots of stuff to draw. Um, but yeah, just speaking of maps, the last book that I read that had a good map in it was oh, good, you're still here. Uh, you've only been doing it for a year, and your stuff is that. Oh my God, you're amazing. Yeah, it is. I'm. Yeah, I have tried my fair share of making, small maps for smaller games. I did one that I was relatively proud of on just paper, and then I lost it. I had it colored in and everything, and I was really proud of it. Um, I don't know where that is. I was trying to take Fandelver from Lost Mines uh, because my husband and I started the adventure, and then we did a time skip for those characters. We did something a little bit further down the timeline, and we had those characters' children as an adventuring group. So I wanted to draw Phandalin, but expand it over like 25 years. And I did okay, I think. I probably could have gone a lot better. I also don't know how to use any digital tools, really. So I just, good old fashioned pen and paper, doing my best, tracing when I could, and not when I couldn't. And I did okay, that kind of. It was fun to do. That was the other thing. Is like maps are that perfect in between of like. Yeah, I did. I have to see if I can find it again. I'm sure it's in one of my 10,000 D&D folders somewhere. Um, but but yeah, I think it's like the perfect blend of like kind of mechanical drawing, like, like you said, straight lines and kind of making it make sense, and artistry because you are in fact building a section or an entire world depending. I always struggle with shaping shaping continents and countries and stuff like that. That always like weirds me out. I've done the rice trick where you just kind of scatter rice around and mess around with the piles of it until it looks kind of cool, and then you just trace that. That actually gave me my first little satisfactory like continent uh world shape. So that was a cool exercise. So next time I need to do a continent, I'll probably do that. I'm currently working on a world for my first group game in a long time, called Galdor. I have no idea if that's a name that's been used in something and it just popped into my head, or uh, if I just shoved some letters together. But Galdor is yeah, yeah. I do better with dungeon maps, like you said. Straight lines. Love me some straight lines. They're just that much easier to draw, and it's easier with grid paper. Galdor so far is I'm doing a little kind of starting out. We're doing a cozy campaign with a bunch of witchy type characters. So I have just gotten done playing the alpha of a little game called Little Witch in the Woods on Steam, and it's super cute and super cozy, like Studio Ghibli kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed it, and it was like I don't know, it was like $10 and it was like a 6 hour game even, and it's just the alpha stage. I assume they're gonna keep it going. Excuse me. But it was so much fun, and I really wanted to. I've been wanting to do a group game again after not for a very, very long time, just because anxiety gets a hold of me. And I have a group of friends that, well, it's a little community through my friends, like coffee club kind of thing that we hold every Saturday. And I've met some really cool people in there, younger players that just got introduced to D&D through somebody there, and I was just like, hey, I can also run a thing, and we don't have to. Uh, you can have more than one game if you want. So I started planning out Galdor. I can't even pronounce my own world. I don't know. And it is a very cozy world so far. It is. I For the first time, I'm starting from like the ground up, and I'm trying to answer all those questions of like how the world was actually made, and what is the god's role in this world, and all that kind of stuff. And even down to those nitty-gritty details, I wanted it to be cozy. I wanted it to be nice and fun, and not necessarily low stakes, but something a little less calamitous. I didn't want something created by a war with the gods. I feel that's been done so much. And so I decided that this world is I'm going with like a world tree, like Yggdrasil mythology kind of thing. And wow, I've only gotten like halfway through that. It's gonna take forever. I gotta get out of here before the sun goes down completely. Um, it is very difficult, but I'm taking my favorite my favorite movie is Fellowship of the Ring, and I love the Hobbits with all my heart. So I wanted to do something Hobbit-like with my creation story. So the world of Galdor itself is just one, oh God, get away from me, is just one of many trees planted in this orchard of worlds that the gods tend. Oh God, Enderman. Get away, hang on one second. Okay, there we go. Okay, go sleep. It's just one tree of an orchard of worlds. And it was planted, and the gods can sometimes get direct access to it through fruits and stuff. And so, yeah, so fruits and stuff are what spawn. Ow! What spawn the various races of the world and the creatures. Like sometimes a god will take a fruit and they'll make. Stop slowing me down, you dick! Go away! I don't have a. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, sorry. Um, that was a fucking slog. But the the creatures of the world are all different. I'm gonna get in here while I'm talking because I keep getting distracted. Um, so the various races came from different seeds from within different fruit, and that's your elves, your hobbits, your halflings rather, continuing on and on and on, humans, that kind of thing. And then the creatures and the monsters are also fruit, but they're twisted or warped by other gods. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're evil or that the gods are evil themselves. I think of my gods a lot of the time as less like. I love to do the mom and dad route with a lot of gods, especially the good ones, that they're just big celestial moms and dads and they're generally nice, but sometimes they get a little bit mad. Because again, I don't do really good with playing evil characters, but say like the main god of this pantheon of the pantheon of Galdor is going to be Melora because Galdor is it's a green planet and most if not all peoples live within the means of the natural world and want to take care of the natural world. So Melora is obviously the wild mother is the one to lead the worship of the pantheon of gods. So sometimes the gods just get a little curious. Maybe, it's if they're big enough, they're sitting around in their garden looking at their trees and going, "I wonder what if I took this fruit and this fruit and shoved them together and there's your drow and there's your deep gnomes and stuff like that." Uh all the trees bear fruit. So basically how I'm trying to and I haven't decided whether or not if the fruit and tree um, imagery is like more mythological and it's not actually a tree, but I kind of want it to actually be a tree, like an actual orchard. I think all of them bear fruit, and each god of the pantheon, both evil and good and neutral and everybody else, they get their own tree to do with what they will. But sometimes they cross pollinate and or they graft on a branch. So I would say like say if you took the Shadowfell and you grafted a branch onto Galdor, the material plane as we call it, that would make uh, the Underdark, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. I don't know. I don't have all of those details, out. I just have the general kind of umbrella terms because I'm only just starting this planning. and answering these questions. So, um, it's been a really fun thought exercise because I'm also trying to think of like the sun and the moons of the world and how those work. And like, are they just the same suns and moons of the orchard that all of the trees share and the gods like have as well, or are they some sort of, I don't know, like floating gemstones around the trees, or things like that. Witchy stuff. Witchy, witchy, witchy. As much witchy imagery as I can shove into world creation is what I'm going for, basically. Um, and so yeah, it's been like I said, a fun thought exercise so far to be like, yes, your world when you're creating a world can be anything, but you have to make it kind of make sense, at least to you. Even if the players never find this stuff out, you still want it to make sense for you. And sometimes I struggle with that because I get really like ADHD excited about certain ideas and oh, more witchy stuff. I want more witchy imagery and as much as I can. Um, oh, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, like I said, I'm working on it. The classic war between gods and stuff like that is fun, and it can be very interesting. I don't care about the characters. Go away. Um, and it can be really interesting, and it can play out in very cool ways um, to experience as a character. But if I'm gonna be making a cozy game, if we want to, and cozy doesn't necessarily mean no stakes or low stakes. It could mean a lot of things, and it's gonna start out low stakes, obviously. But it's calamitous events and stuff like that are important for um, continuing on an interesting story a lot of the time, especially when you get to later levels in your good old fashioned D&D games. Um, I meant to make it's fine. Um, and I can see how. Oh, hey, my thingy worked. Howdy, Aaron, or Laundry, or whichever one you prefer. You let me know. Hey. Oh yeah, that's right. I did follow you. Hi, how are you? I was like, that sounds familiar. um, my cat. Sorry, my cat. Don't do that. Sorry. My cat decided to claw the window screen. I don't appreciate that, buddy. Um, anyway. Hi, Aaron. Nice to see you. Nice of you to drop in. Blah, blah. I've been talking a lot. Sorry. Mm. We were just talking about world creation and the like. Cats do be cattin'. Yeah. Sorry if you hear any weird noises. My window's open because it's nice outside. So my douchebag neighbors with big trucks are revving their engines because they think they're cool. Um, anyway, we're talking about world building and world creation myths and making up your own, and how mine is maybe a little bit more peaceful than the average world creation myth, and what that means for the story and such as that. Um, but what are you working on, Aaron? Tell me about any cool nerdy stuff you're working on, or whatever you whatever is capturing your creativity lately. Game called Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. Cosmic Wheel Sister. I mean, that sounds very cool. I don't know what that is, but I will definitely look it up. I'm always looking for more witchy stuff, whether or not it's. Oh my god, was this ship actually cut in half by this iceberg? Oh no, okay, good. I was about to be upset. Alright. Aw, everybody's fans here. That makes me very happy to see. This is exactly what I was hoping for when I started streaming. I wanted to put people in contact with other cool people in the community. That makes me so so happy. Um, that's so cool. Anyway, uh, yeah. So tell me what your creativity is working on these days, Aaron. Are you world building? Are you game building? Are you writing stories? What are you doing? Oh, a clock. Treasure map and paper. Dope. Working on your okay. Planning out all the one shots, songs, songs and sagas. Tell me about it. I think I remember seeing you thread about that. Is it called threading? Are we talk? Is that what we're calling it? I haven't gotten the vernacular down yet. Um, yeah, tell me all about that because that sounds right up my alley. I love songs and I love sagas. There's all water here. That's weird. Am I just getting to the end of this? Maybe I am. Okay. I'm gonna have to take this baby out from the inside. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Sun's going down. Uh oh. All right. How do I get out of here? Ah! Trapped in a glacier is not how I want to go. Oh, and you said you got to play. Tell me about your character. I must know. Oops. That's my husband saying bye as he goes back to work. Bless him. Epic Tales. Ooh. I love a good Norse setting. Love me some Vikings. I'm running home now. 1 second. Don't want to die. Is this melting? Was this more water before, or is this the same? I can't remember. This is gonna hurt. Ow. Yep. Run. Militia leader named Embla. She turned into a Valkyrie. Fuck yeah! Always about that Valkyrie life. Hell yeah. Oh, I don't care if there's monsters nearby. Get away. Okay. Ow! Get away from me! Oh no! Get out of my house! Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Songs and sagas, absolutely. Any roleplay first system is my vibe. Absolutely. I just run so much more D&D because that's what the new players want to play. Because, whatever. It's what I have the most experience in, so I can't get mad at them or anything, but, I know of a lot more cool systems that would work better, but, yeah, what are you gonna do? Where's my food? There's my food. Okay. Oh, I gotta look at this treasure map. Still being play tested. The game designer on Threads. Oh, cool. Awesome. Are they? Oh, that tells me nothing. Dope. Um, is it like a Kickstarter, or are they just doing a full release outright for the game? Okay, need this, that, that. Oh, hello, Evandale. Welcome on in. I appreciate the follow. We're just talking about cool D&D stuff that we're working on, or doesn't necessarily have to be D&D. Oh, well, that's good news. Awesome. I'll have to. Oh, I did not want to make a crafting table, son of a bitch. I'll definitely check that out. So yeah, Evan, tell me. Oh, my campaign is right now. It is a cozy witch campaign that I'm currently writing. I'm hoping to start it around the like I think it's the 10th of February when we're meeting back up after a short little hiatus of our coffee club that we meet at once a week. And I've met some cool people there. And yeah, and I'm building the world and everything from the ground up in the interest of being sweet and cozy. Eventually, I'll build up to some interesting conflicts. That's my cat. Oh my God. SJ Vox, not Fox, Vox. Welcome on in. Thank you for dropping by. My goodness. I'm getting so many follows. I don't know. How do I do this? Black Mass. Welcome, welcome on in, SJ. I appreciate you following and dropping by for the chat. Um, uh, yeah, Black Mass. I will definitely. Oh, there's a creeper that scared me. I forgot there was a window there. Uh, um, Yeah, for real though. I never expected this. But the this campaign is probably the first I'm like really trying to do proper, you know, down bottom to top world building in. Usually I'll just grab Faerun and just change things that I need changed as I go whenever I run. And I usually only run for my husband. What I'm planning now will be my first group game in like since before COVID, and even that was just a very short-lived. It didn't. It was fun, but it didn't survive very long. And then before that, it was years and years ahead of that. So I'm really excited. It's a bunch of Gen Zers, so it'll be my first time running for people. Oh my God. Ain't got crit. I absolutely love that username. Welcome. Welcome in. We're talking about cool RPG stuff and ideas, and I'm just giving a little lowdown on the campaign I'm currently working on. Hi! Wow, I never expected this many people in chat at one time. This is really cool. Um, sorry, I'm a little giddy. Yeah, evidently. Wow. Bless you. Bless you for dropping by. Uh, but I can't even focus on my Minecraft stuff right now because it's not important. But hopefully that's not too boring to look at. Um, but I'm building the world from the ground up with the idea that I want it to be cozy, which means I am also thinking of the actual how the world came to be, and I've never really thought about that in a bottom to top. I've changed how like a world has come to be with Faerun. Like I was just like screw it, it was made by dragons because I like dragons. And I kind of like built it, but that was from fizz bands and stuff like that. I kind of borrowed a bunch of stuff. This is the first time I'm doing it from. Is it Galdor? Yeah, Galdor. I think that sounds like the good. That sounds like good old 80s. Um, 80s kind of world building name. But yeah. Sorry, I just there's so many people here. Um, and I was just talking about how the world creation myth or reality, depending on who you talk to, is that the thank you. I'm working on my vibe. I don't know what kind of vibe I give off. It's getting hot. Hang on one second. I gotta take off my hat. Um, my hair's gonna be awful, so excuse me. But the oh my god, that's my cat Thumbs. Come here. You want to say hi to stream? Is this a show cat moment? Is this a show cat moment? Oh, come here. Oh god, he's so big. This is Thumbs. Oh god. See if he'll cooperate. My hair is very short. I just cut it for the new year. Yes, his name is Thumbs because he has thumbs. That's the first thing I said to him. He's a parking lot cat. I don't know if you could see his thumbs. It's kind of hard to show him because he's very fat. Um, yeah. But I didn't want a calamitous God War type of world, world creation myth. I wanted something a little nicer. I wanted something born. Shush, shush. It's not time for lunch. He thinks he's gonna extort me. um, I might give him treats on stream. And so the world itself, Galdor, and every other like branch world. So think of your uh, world cosmology. You have your oh my god, shush. You have your different planes and stuff. I'm not judging anybody for having that. Like I said, it can make some really really cool stories. And playing with the dichotomy of different gods. And oh my god, he's just screaming. Um, uh, Playing with the god dichotomy and like gods at war, gods, especially a good old fashioned family war, like brother against brother, sister against sister, father against kids, and vice versa. Classic god pantheon drama, absolutely here for that. I just am really bad at writing it because it's not fun for me. I love to read it. Oh my god, shush. I love to read it. It's interesting. It can, spill the tea about your terrible brother Zeus. Absolutely here for it. But it's not fun for me to write. I don't want to figure out what beef these people have, so I want something of, oh my god, rather than the gods being all one family, I think of it as um yeah. I like to think of the pantheon of gods as more of a found friends family group in that they generally tolerate each other, at least the main pantheon, the neutral and the good gods. Obviously, the evil gods are over somewhere being bastards, who knows? Or they sneak in or something. We're still figuring that out. But just these people that kind of came together and decided to build a commune. Yeah, so all of my deities are kind of hippie-ish in different ways. Like, hang on, hang on, let me go to my documents here. Oh, nope, I don't want that. Go to, let's save and quit. I can go back to Minecraft at any time. I can quit at any time. Um, Go away. Yes. Let me get to my documents here and show you my lists and my so many notes that who knows if they actually make sense. Does anyone else use Notion for their campaign planning? It's a lot like OneNote, except not as good. So I hear, but I started using Notion and I really don't want to change. Um, There we go. Get all my stuff set up. Anyway, so the name of the game is Hither, Thither, and Yon because I'm using that. Um, no, I use Google Docs too. Here, check it out. There we go. Yeah, I use both. But I like not OneNote. You're not OneNote. You're Notion. I stole Hither, Thither, and Yon, obviously aside from your classic stories, but I had just been reading through Witchlight, and I was like, I like that. Um, yeah. I've tried the wiki stuff, and I haven't been able to really figure that out. This is like a wiki light, I guess. Um, Thank you. And anyway, so the gods so far, this is the main pantheon of Geldor. Um, Melora basically got this tree. Melora has Galdor. That is her tree in the orchard that is the cosmology of the world. This is the one she planted and raised. Now, Melora has technically her hands almost in every other world in one way or another, because she is the Earth Mother. She is the one that makes things grow. But all of the other gods, they have their own trees elsewhere. So each god kind of has their own like plane or world, whichever one. We'll figure that out as we go. Um, yeah, I use it for a lot of stuff, as you can see. So um, uh, Very creation of deities and how they affect the world. Hey, cool, awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, Notion, the only thing that drives me crazy is they won't make an offline mode, and the fact that their app is the slowest thing in the world, depending on the day. Um, but so again, I'd say there's a main pantheon, and maybe more gods are interested in different trees, or maybe a god hasn't planted any trees and would prefer to kind of travel around and make different things happen in different gods' trees. Um, but this is the main pantheon, so these are the gods that pay the most attention for good reasons um, to Galdor. And this is everyone from neutral to good. Now, the evil gods. Now, the way I'm ruling this, um, yeah, and um, the the way I'm ruling how bad things happen in the world is, yeah, trade is going to be more of a bartering. This is going to be a very hippy dippy world, which is going to be really funny to run and try to make combat happen. But um, but the bad people, the bad, gods or people or creatures or whatever, those are the ones underground. Anyone that doesn't fit into society in a negative way, not just your random weirdo, because the campaign I'm running is all about a collection of random weirdos building a world together, or building a place to live together. So it's not so much that they don't fit into this they don't fit into society negatively, but they don't fit into society in traditional ways for whatever reason, or they had to leave society for whatever reason. Um, so any evil or not meaning well for society people are generally brought or drawn to underground, away from the sun. So think Gollum. We forgot the feel of the sun, the wind in our hair, that kind of thing. They all go underground and they become more monstrous, or they do terrible things down there to good people up above, whatever it has. Um, and again, that's your Underdark and your bad people, your dungeons and stuff. All the bad stuff goes down there. Um, oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much again for stopping by, Arcane. I really appreciate it. And say hi to your cats and your wife for me. um, so uh, so yeah, that's my basic idea. I have a lore sheet in here somewhere, I think. Hang on. Do I? Yeah, here we go. So I found a little thing that gave me a list of questions to answer. That's where I got my original ideas here from. Oh my god. Cat, you have to stop. You have to stop. Okay. Actually, let me go get him some treats or something, and I'll hit the bathroom, and I will be right back. Just a quick pause. Be right back. Thank you so much for your patience to my screaming cat. Okay. Alright. Thumbs is being a butt, is what he's doing. The wind is picking up. It is going to be stormy today. Anyway, I'm going to close my window here. Alright. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, so. Right, yeah, the lore. The lore of the world so far is, the orchard, um, and each tree is cared for by one main god, but everyone gets to do their own thing and graft and fertilize and whatnot as they see fit. And the entirety of Galdor is kind of like a garden world, if you will. It is green, it is verdant, it is gorgeous. Anything that isn't green is different, I guess you could say. Like if there's a volcano, it was put there by a god. It wasn't an original thing. And Melora, being not forgiving, but willing to see how things work out, kind of lets them. And if it gets too serious, then it's a problem, and then she does something to change it. But everything needs a cycle in nature, and so she understands sometimes dangers and uh, different types of challenges need to arise in the natural world for things to evolve. Otherwise, they stay stagnant, and that is not natural. So that's why she's willing to, and all of the gods are kind of willing to jointly experiment, for lack of a better word, on these trees of worlds. There's just too many variables. Not one god. One god can't uh, keep track of every single thing. So things are gonna slip through. Things are gonna get weird, and most of the gods are pretty much okay with that. Um, Most societies are based around farming, but not taking too much. So druids are a huge thing in this world. Um, I haven't figured out societally if like maybe there's always a druid on like some sort of council in cities, or if it's like I like the idea of like a king and a queen, and one's like always a druid, and one's something else, maybe a wizard or somebody that speaks for the world, and then somebody that speaks for the celestial. If you look back on old wizard, like actual medieval wizardry, where it was all based on the planets and things like that, where it's like you're sick because Taurus is in Gemini or whatever, and like something like that. So it's either a king and queen, and then their advisors are always a druid and a wizard, or the king and queen themselves actually have to be one and then the other to ensure equality of outlook. So again, it might depend on the city, it might depend on the nation, it might depend on a lot of things. Um, yeah. Um, then it's teeming with monsters and wildlife. Again, if you have a garden world, gardens mean life. Yes, exactly that. Because if we're looking at the two types of magic, you've got your witchy folk magic, and you've got your ceremonial, highfalutin, learn about it in school magic. And I want both of those represented in government and everywhere else. Um, Magic is common. As I was saying, there's tribalistic magics with your goblins, your orcs, your everything that doesn't sit down and stay in one place as a society. Your hunter gatherers are more tribalistic, ancestor based magic and earth based magic, and then you got your folk magic, which is your commoners. They're doing good luck. Um, uh, Various like protection charms. They do, sigils on their doors for protection. Certain types of colors, like if you know about witchcraft of the South, and like the voodoo. There's haint or and Appalachia, I believe they both have haint blue, which interestingly, or is it yellow? It's blue or yellow, I can't remember. But there is a certain kind of paint that was used in various houses that was believed to bring wellness to and keep people from getting sick. And interestingly, they discovered that that type of paint, that color, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had a certain compound in it that kept mosquitoes away, which meant people weren't suffering from malaria in the house, thus, they were protecting from sickness. So, science and magic together, you gotta love it. Anyway, I learned that on a ghost tour from in St. Augustine, Florida, I think. Or was it Savannah, Georgia? One of those. Anyway, um, love me a good ghost tour. Go on a ghost tour if you get a chance. There's a lot of history in there. Um, Again, there's a not necessarily a hierarchy of magic, but you everyone has access to magic in some way in this world. Um, and it's normalized in a lot of ways. The only thing that isn't normal is your good old fashioned necromancy and summoning demons. Don't do that. And if you do, do it underground. That's where all the evil people go. So that's my initial idea on how magic and the weave exist, and how Melora and Mistra kind of work together in that cycle of magic from the world. Yes, um, magic from the world, magic from the stars, magic from the weave. However you want to talk about that. um, and then because people and creatures all come from seeds in this uh, world mythology, bad people are known as bad seeds. That is like an all encompassing thing of everybody knows what that means if somebody's a bad seed. And figuring out the terminology and like the slang of your world is always a great way to get your world building across in a very quick and creative manner rather than, giving them a big, slew of exposition. You can just be like, it's that guy's a bad seed, and everybody goes, "Oh, bad seed. Okay, that means something here. Got it." And they hear it over and over again. So that's a cool way of figuring out how to introduce lore to your players. Ooh, talking is hard. I'm I'm an introvert. I'm learning all kinds of stuff doing this. Um, so yeah, and so far I've got my characters. I think we all are. That's why we build worlds in our heads. I've got my characters so far. I've got Nubia, who is she's a gynosphinx, and she is the world's first free gynosphinx because gynosphinx are largely a creature in this world again that are summoned to protect a thing, whatever that may be. So Nubia was summoned by a wizard or something. We'll figure out everything later, to guard a temple or a tomb or something such as that. And then the player has said that Nubia has bad eyesight, specifically. She loves shinies and has bad eyesight. And so a a group of adventurers or ne'er-do-wells or whoever. I know, I love her too. She's fantastic. I would show the art, but I don't have the artist's permission as of right now. I will talk to my players eventually, and we'll talk about it. But um, her temple or whatever she was guarding was plundered by ne'er-do-wells, and she didn't realize it until one day that Gaius or whatever was on her to protect this place or thing or whatever it was suddenly gone, and now she's kind of wandering the world, like free after only realizing she was entrapped after being freed. And so she's kind of seeing the world fresh. I'm very excited for this character. It's going to be very interesting. Then I've got Spore, who is a goblinoid creature from a tribe. Um, who is just kind of a little creepy little guy, and I do not have any websites. I've just got my Notion and my Google Doc, and yes, Spore is very good. I love little creepy dudes. I love playing goblins. I can't wait to make as many NPCs as I can of goblinoid type, just because I love doing that voice. And um, if I was a VTuber, I would absolutely be a goblin. But and they are the person that, oh, I love voices. I could do voices all day. I again, not tooting my own horn, but each DM and has their own strengths and weaknesses. Weakness are numbers for me. I'm not good at the numbers. I'm not good at combat. I'm not good at it. I don't enjoy it, and I'm not good at it. NPCs, I will talk to you until you stop me in an NPC. I can come up with an NPC like that, and I can make them pretty damn lovable almost every single time, or hateable, depending on what I need, and I'll give them a damn voice because it is so much fun for me to play pretend, and I love playing people. I have so many voices in my head. I have so many characters in my head over the years. They're still there. They don't go anywhere. They're still there, and they come out of me every now and again. You just start talking in your character's voice, and it's just like, oh. Me and my husband do it all the time because we have a married couple in one of our games where we just play together, and we drop into their voices all the time, and we just start walking around the house talking like them. So that gives you the level of weird that we get into sometimes. But I am very good at NPCs, and I am very good at making friends for the players or the characters, and also pets. I will give them pets all day, like too many, many pets. Um, oh, good. It's so nice to know I'm not alone. All of a sudden, my husband starts doing a bad Sean Connery impression, and I know immediately to go into my rogue, my tiefling rogue, which sounds exactly like Asterion, but she's been around a lot longer. Exactly, yes. Being silly with your spouse is the thing to make your marriage last forever. Yeah. um, but yeah, I love. We actually made my rogue is one of my playthroughs of Baldur's Gate. So her and Asterion are best friends. I'm just like they have the cutest like friendship in my mind because they sound exactly fucking alike, and I'm just like so proud of that. um, and then my husband has his big dragonborn paladin who just comes in and goes, "Hello, I'm Sir Macarius," that kind of thing. And we heard our voices doing that. I've turned four of my RPG characters into Tavs. I have done so many playthroughs of that game. Not finished playthroughs, but I've started new playthroughs, um, many times. um, my poor husband, he's so mad because he messed up the romance chain with Shadowheart, and now he doesn't get to kiss her, and he's very upset. Meanwhile, I'm over here making out with Will while me and Asterion are high fiving while I do. It's just like, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you." And I'm just like, "Yeah, me too." It's so much fun. So we're gonna have to do another playthrough so he can properly romance his goth. Will was okay. Here, first of all, I have romanced every single character or plan to romance every character in Baldur's Gate in one way or another. The first one was Asterion. Yes. Amazing. Yes, Hot Topic Girlfriend, so good. The first one I made, I think most people have that thing where when they get a new RPG, they make themselves. So I made myself, and I made myself as a barbarian. And if you know anything about me, that's what I would be if I was an actual D&D character. So I made my barbarian character, and I totally meant to romance Karlach. That was my goal. I wanted nothing more than to romance. Yeah, exactly, exactly that. I wanted nothing more than to romance Karlak. Then the fucking vampire boy shows up, and I hated him at first. And then his goddamn tragic backstory happened, and I was like, well, fuck. Now I want to help him. And me and Karlak were just like barbarian bros. High five. We were just like best friends. And so that's how that worked out. Halcyon, oh my god, yeah. Yeah, and the best part about my romancing Asterion first is I also got Daddy Halcyon. He's my vibe. I am mad that I can't romance Minsk, though, because himbos, give them to me. Give me the himbos, whether male or female. Give me the shimbos, the himbos, all of that. Give it to me. But so yeah, I mean, my barbarian has both Daddy Halcyon and Twink Asterion, and she is running the gamut. um, right. Anyway, yeah, I love to make myself in RPGs, but then always follow up by making my various characters from past tabletops into characters, and Baldur's Gate is perfect for that. I even have a World of Darkness character that I turned into a wild magic sorcerer, and she is currently romancing Gale because I felt really bad because I kind of led him on as my rogue. Um, Anyway, the reason for Will is because he has really romantic lines, and I immediately fell for him, and that absolutely tracks for my rogue because she's a talker, and anyone that can talk to her and make her stupid, she's like, all right, damn it, you bastard, But, and there was no older cop daddy character that I could really go for, so there was nobody representative of her actual husband in the game, so I went with the little one, the little heroic one. Um, yeah, and the dancing is just, it was all very fun and cute. Anyway, he was not my first choice. Asterion was my first choice, and then it was Gale, and then he was the little one. Yes, and she's a tiefling, so I feel like the minute he gets horns, she's just like, oh, oh, yes, you. That seems, yes, let's do that. That kind of thing. So, there's depth there and that kind of thing. Um, so that's not who I expected to romance as my rogue either, but she's happy with it. um, and then my last character so far, I've got one more that hasn't she's been out of town, so she hasn't been able to roll up her character, so I don't know what that one's going to be yet. Spore is going to be a rogue, Nubia is going to be a wizard. I haven't been saying their classes, my bad. And then Azalea is going to be a halfling uh, ranger, uh, which is going to be very, very fun to play or to run for. She's currently, her backstory is her mother disappeared when she was very little, and her dad doesn't talk about it. And she knows her mom was a druid of some tribe, and so the ranger is going out to find her mother's tribe to try to find out what happened to her. So that is every DM knows that sort of backstory is a blessing to have, because you can put in so much world building and that sort of thing. So between the three of them, I have the opportunity to build up, for Nubia, the ceremonial and astrology type magic. And I also I told Nubia's player that instead of giving her some other random language, that I gave her a new language called Ancient. I'm just calling it Ancient, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, but it's going to be something like finding old temples of other, not necessarily all gynosphinxes, but any magical creature from eons ago. They speak this language, and whether or not the dialect changes over time will remain to be seen. But she has this language that only certain types of creatures can speak. And that's another great way to like get exposition into various dungeon finds or books or something like that, and give her the opportunity to be the one to go. I can translate that, and then run off with that. So that will be my avenue for exposition. And then, Spore will give me my outlooks to tribalistic magic and how that works and what it means for a member of a tribe to leave their tribe, and does that magic change, and how does seeing the world outside of your tribe change your outlook on magics or how the world works, which will be interesting. And then Azalea has the earth magic, with her mother being a druid and her being a ranger. That will give me the opportunity to expand upon that. Um, and then going from there, whatever our fourth character is, we'll figure it out. But if we get divine magic, if we get a cleric or a paladin or even just somebody that's devoted to one or many gods, that opens up that avenue. So I'm hoping that with the well-roundedness of the party, I have a lot of opportunity to build and build and build upon the world building of the various types of magics. So far so good, going very well so far. I hope to start in, I think, the first weekend of February or second weekend, one of those. Yeah, me too. Um, And I don't know if any of my players are watching. They do know that I stream, and I'm trying not to. Ooh, sorry. I'm trying not to give them any spoilers. So if you're one of my players and you happen to be watching, whether now or later on YouTube, click away. I'm not kidding. I'll give you like 10 seconds because I want to talk about this with somebody or I'm going to explode. Okay. Okay. Good? Good. All right. So the main idea for the campaign itself. I'm not responsible for spoilers if you didn't click away, by the way. So the main idea, if you're familiar with Runesmith, the D&D creator on YouTube, I greatly enjoy his videos, and he did one not too long ago about how to run a cozy campaign, and that's generally my idea. Fantastic video, check it out. He's very funny, and he talked about how to run basically a campaign where the party finds a place and builds up a little pocket of society for themselves. They start a town on their own and businesses within that town, and then going and going and going. So I'm taking that idea and I'm running with it. So they're gonna have an NPC. They're gonna do a job that's an escort to a newly budding steading started by a particular person who is in secret a hag. No, she's not a bad hag. She's a good witch. But she was a member of a coven, and she was one of three others that were changed in the way that hags change children. Each of them were kidnapped, each of them were eaten and digested and barfed up into new baby hags. And they formed their own coven after this, the good hag, um, her hag mom, quote unquote, got murdered by an adventurer or whatever. So the sisters in this coven for a long time were doing terrible hag things to people. And then some part of the transformation within Good Hag didn't fully like destroy her soul, basically. It didn't destroy her conscience. And so conscience, there you go, there's the word. Um, and so she tried to talk to her sisters and try to turn them to a path of good, or at least a path of not as terrible as what they've been doing. They beat her and trapped her in a place for. They imprisoned her for a while, and then she finally escaped and has since tried to make it as a good hag. And this little town, this steading that she started, is her trying to do that. She is trying to make a place that uh, for people that have nowhere else to go, for people that aren't accepted for any number of reasons. And so that's where my characters are going to be coming in. So we've got a Gynosphinx Sphinx that is free for the first time, a little goblinoid out of their tribe, and a girl searching for her family. And then whomever the last one is, I'll make it work. So I'm excited to how that will represent each other, and then it'll build up to dealing with her sisters, and then, you know, probably bigger threats as you go. But that's that's my general overarching story for the entire campaign. And it's like my first time I have a general idea of like beginning, middle, and end. And I don't think I've ever had that because I'm definitely that DM that can just kind of keep it going and don't really have you just kind of peter out, and eventually you're just like, let's not meet next week, and then the next week, and then the next week, and then your game dies. And that's generally how my past games have gone, aside from the ones with just my husband, because we live in the same house. That helps. But, being an adult, not easy to schedule various games. So I'm hoping I can stay the course and actually finish this campaign. At least the main story of this campaign. That's the idea anyway. We'll see. But so far I've got a lot of ideas. We'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, so I'm super excited to see how it turns out and what happens. Eh, hang on. There we go. Okay. Anyway, yeah, enough about me. How about other people tell me about their stuff? My God, I totally meant for this to be something that everybody else talks about their stuff, not just mine. Um, so please, if you have some cool stuff to tell me about, either currently or in the past, or the stuff that you're planning for the future, please tell me. I'd love to hear it. Mm, I guess I can go back to Minecraft now. But yeah, I'm super excited for the game. I really am. Thank you. Yes, I stole it from Witchlight and various, you know, Fae stories of old, but which I think it's. Oh, I appreciate that. That's awesome. Oh my God, the wind is picking up. Holy crap! Oh, I think a branch just hit my roof. That scared the shit out of me. I think it's fine. um, oh, there we go. But yeah, um, I'm very excited for this campaign, and because it's a place that I meet at regularly anyway, and that they meet regularly at anyway, I'm hoping the scheduling works out. Obviously, some of they're younger than me. They're all Gen Z. Um, I think the youngest is 16, and the oldest is 21, 20, somewhere early 20s, and I am not that. So I'm hoping that schedules don't change too much in the near future, and we can get a good handle on the game itself. So I'm excited for that. Um, so yeah, I've done a lot of planning, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And if it doesn't go well, I've got a bunch of other people that hang out every 2 weeks to plan around and hopefully make work that way. Okay, here we go. Why did I make a hoe? I don't need a hoe. Why did I need a hoe? Um, go, go. And yeah, like I said, it's the first time I've built a world from the ground up, so I'm really, really trying to make stuff make sense. And so far, I think I've done okay. And bless my husband because he's the question asker and he's the one that makes me think of things that maybe I didn't think of before and tries to help me make sense of them. So that's a great thing to have around when you're planning a game and trying to make it make sense. All right, there we go. All right, let me go dig out the rest of that sunken ship that was over here as well. I'm really excited for the characters. They did a great job. They've only played, as far as I know, they haven't played D&D all that much, certainly not to the extent that a lot of people have. So they're doing, only that kind of stuff that only new players can come up with, that endless creativity that they have. I just absolutely love playing with new characters is just so much fun. Or new players, new characters. And it's same difference. Um, they just really they think of things you would have never thought of. They they try things more freely than people that have played 100 games or run 100 games. Running for DMs is also a whole different ball game because they understand the the amount of freaking work it takes to do a lot of the stuff that we do. And yeah, being a DM can be, at least, it can be a job, another job that you don't necessarily get paid for. And not to say that you should always get paid for everything that you love, but it would be nice. And uh, getting paid to do what you love, as they say, is the dream. Um, but you know, DMs, if they become one of your players, they understand generally what you're going for, and they try to make that happen. And I always appreciate that about DM players. That can go the other way, unfortunately. If somebody's too used to being the game runner, they can kind of be a little demanding on their expectations of a game. Um, but usually that can be dealt with relatively early on, where it's just like, nobody's stopping you. You could run your own game. You've done it before. um, so yeah, running for other DMs is fun and helpful. I never get mad at the DM that's just like, hey, isn't it supposed to be this way? Because there's a way to do that isn't being shitty, you know. And um, I mean, judging by the RPG horror stories subreddit, there's not a lot of players out there that understand that there's a way to communicate that's not mean. So, it takes there's several different personality types that get into DMing, and I am certainly the type that's in other people's games. I want to see their creativity. I want to see what they can come up with, especially if it's their first game. Oh my God, new DMs are a whole other breed where they're just like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna tell a story, and here's some crazy stuff I've never thought of, and they're just introducing it like it's a thing, and you're just like, you know, how are you so good at this already? So, I appreciate that. And I'm hoping that I can inspire my players with this game as we go to maybe eventually run their own. That's always the idea, is to get more people willing to GM. Not forever GMs. The only reason there are forever GMs is because there's not enough GMs in the world. So, whoa, hello. Um, so just to spread the love of running a game and letting people know that it's not as hard as it may seem, and it's a time slog, but it is a creative exercise that can do well by you. And there's like so many different ways of approaching it. And it just makes me so happy because if like say you have a DM that is an artist first, like that's their main hobby that they started with, and then they're just like, I'm going to try to run a game. And it's just it's how that their minds work in such a different way from like someone like me who's like the list maker, like I guess I don't know, left brain right brain kind of thing. And it's just so different than anything you would do, and I appreciate when it's different from what I would do. That's what I want when I'm in a game. I don't want to be in a game that would be like what I'm running, because then I just run it myself. I want to see what other people can come up with. And so running into people like that and letting them run games and giving them that confidence and letting them know that just because that's how you do it does not mean that they have to do it like that too. And please God, don't try to be all of these other badass and talented DMs that are on various streams to thousands or however many people. Uh, like, take inspiration, take ideas from them, but make them your own. That's what you need to learn. Like, be be a talented thief. A talented thief is the one that nobody realizes they stole from them. And taking an idea and running with it with your own inspiration in it, your own flavoring if you want to. Oh God. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 bear. Get eaten by a polar bear. Um, Putting your own spin on it and putting your own flavoring in something like that is what keeps things going. And it's why new game systems are introduced, where it's just like, hey, D&D doesn't do this very well. How about I make a system that does? Which I think is where most game systems came from, let's be honest. So yeah, I just enjoy the boundless creativity of RPGs and world building itself. And it's just it's such and I love artists and all of that are so freaking cool, but I feel like something about D&D for those people that maybe struggle and think that they're maybe not creative. But if they were like me, they played pretend all the time, but they don't see that as a creative hobby that you can do as an adult. Shenanigans, I say. Like, playing pretend is my main hobby. I fully admit that I am a 36-year-old woman. I play pretend almost every day, and I am happy to do so. And it is my favorite thing to do to this day. I've been doing it since I was 3 years old, and I will continue to do it till the day I die. I will play pretend. And it is a socially, and certainly more socially acceptable way to play pretend, to play RPGs and to play pretend with your friends. It is such an important part of development. And then we think it just stops being important because we're an adult? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Playing pretend can be such a freeing activity for any age. And it is a beautiful thing to see people do. Usually the first time that, like, you know your nerd friends. The first time I really realized that you could play pretend as an adult with other adults was the first time I went to a Ren fair. If that ain't just a big ass LARP that you can drink at, like, that is nothing but awesome adults in badass costumes playing pirates and princesses and fairies. And I absolutely love that shit. I love it. And then I didn't play RPGs until I was in my 20s. But damn if I didn't like start talking to my friends and we started writing little stories and being we basically role played without calling it that. We didn't realize it was a thing. And I'm bummed out that I didn't realize that until my 20s because me and my friends would have been playing RPGs from the age of 12 onwards. Oh god. Don't hurt me, polar bear. But we basically, reinvented the wheel and started role playing by ourselves. And it's it's so funny to look back on that and go, "Oh, this was always there. I just didn't realize other people did it." Yeah, absolutely get lost in stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about when me and my husband start talking in character. It's some I think this polar bear is trying to kill me. It's just something that my it tickles my brain, and it feels good to do. It feels right to do even. And is something trying to attack me? No. Okay. Um and just the ability to do that, so many adults lose, and it's sad to see. And you can see that, I've tried to introduce it to people in my family or friends that are less nerd inclined, let's call it. And they're a lot of them are just, you have to be willing to look silly. You have to be willing to tell stories, and you have to be willing to deal with failure in a creative sense, because that'll gives you the tools to deal with it in real life. I really believe that if you deal with something uh, difficult in a game, whether it's a video game or an RPG or anything, it's something that can kind of inoculate you and get you ready for the real thing. I absolutely believe that. It's not a replacement for the real thing, but damn if it doesn't give you those moments of okay, my character dealt with the death of a family member, and this is how they dealt with it. They continued on, they fought on. Where did they find that strength, and how can I find that in myself? And I think everyone could benefit from playing pretend every now and again. I just wish it was more socially acceptable. But I think it's getting there. I think it's getting better. It's certainly not like it was in the 80s and the 90s. We're certainly not dealing with, more satanic panic crap. But I think it's getting better, and I think people are being are more willing. I mean, look at the internet. Look at how willing people are to be silly on the internet for views. So if you can try to, I mean, there's been so many papers put out about how important play is to the brain, and how we have to make time for it, and how we have to put it in our lives. And people that say, people that have kids. I don't have kids, so, but a lot of people with kids don't make the time for it, and then they have the best excuse to do it. You got a kid right there absolutely willing to play pretend with you, and absolutely willing to be a pirate, or be, a hero, or whatever it is. And oh god, that's a creeper. Excuse me. Um and it's just, I don't know, it's something I'm very passionate about. And I mean, I'm no doctor, I'm no psychologist, but I absolutely believe that it is a part of life and development that we are way too quick to leave behind as childish fantasies. I think it was T.S. Eliot that was it T.S. Eliot? It was a poet of some, I believe it's T.S. Eliot, that talked about how he went through a lot of his life, as an adult, as a young adult, eschewing things like childish toys and childish thoughts and stuff like that, and super serial poetry. And then only towards the end of his life did he realize that picking those things back up and realizing how important they are and what they mean to you are what make us all human. Survival is brilliant. I want people to survive. I want people to continue on and make whatever they can. But if you're just surviving, you're no better than an animal. And if you can find those moments in the day, even little moments of magic and pretend and fantasy, and you just look at a cloud and you're like, um, proof rock. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Um, And if you take that moment to look up at a cloud and see a dragon, that's pretend. That's giving you and your brain that little spark of something beyond the world in front of you. And the world doesn't stop with just what's in front of you. The world is so much more complex than all of that, and it's important to know that, and it's important to play with it. Um, uh, that's my soapbox on that. But I absolutely believe that RPGs can be used in that vein of allowing people it's an accessible way, I think, especially now with the internet. There are so many people, again, freely making available these gaming systems that take up like a a index card where it's just like, here's some rules, but play pretend. These are just the rules to kind of codify it and make it a game. So it's okay. You want to play a game. It's okay, but we're also playing pretend. Um, so yeah, it's something that's always been important to me, and I didn't really realize how important it was until I grew up, realized what RPGs were as an adult, and started playing them. But I've been doing it since I could talk, you know. So, ooh, whew, that was a speech. I apologize if I kind of went off on a tangent there, but it's important to me. And I think it's something everybody should try. Absolutely. Stop self-medicating with drugs and alcohol and medicate yourself with pretend. Isn't that basically what fake it till you make it is anyway? I mean, that's playing pretend. You pretending you're a successful business person or whatever. You're playing pretend. There you go. So, I think pretend has its way of like sneaking into our lives as well. Because our brains want it so bad, but we kind of call it something else. And it's, there's no point in it. People play pretend all the time. Look at just looking at TikTok. Like I followed TikTok for a while and then I got off of it because it was getting to be like a toxic kind of thing. But there's so many people on TikTok that are just like, I'm gonna put on this whole outfit and pretend and make up this whole character and do a little dance or lip sync or whatever it is, that they're deciding to do. And that's pretend. And you can call it like thirst trapping or whatever, but it's like, bruh, you are playing pretend. I don't care if it's for views or whatever. You're playing pretend. And you should. And don't ever be embarrassed and don't ever call it what it's not. Um, so so yeah, that's my thoughts on it anyway. I'm so glad that nerddom in general is becoming more socially acceptable. Like, I didn't, I grew up in like the 90s and early aughts, and so I dealt with some bullshit, some bullying, who didn't? And then I didn't even have the worst of it where, you had your satanic panic moments of like, if you play this game, you're worshiping the devil. Like, that shit's crazy to think about. And I didn't even deal, like, I got, some words in the early aughts, struck at to me, but it wasn't a societal wide news story coverage type of thing when I was a kid. I have friends that were around during that time dealing with that from their parents. 1,000%. And it is scary to think about that people are so afraid of people having fun and playing pretend and pretending to be something different that they're going to attribute it to this great evil. And it's just like, it's just a bunch of nerds pretending to swing swords around, my guy. You gotta calm down. it's Let's all chill. It's okay. I'm sorry that you were never made to feel special, but hey, how about we roll some dice? And you can inoculate yourself to bad people. If you want to fight evil, come play a paladin. If that's how you want to feel, like that's what you're doing, go play a game, play a paladin, play a cleric, fight demons, and it's just so funny how much societal issues were just shown through people needing to squash people's innocent fun. It sucks, but that's what it was. It's over now, luckily, but there are still people out there that absolutely believe that D&D is the devil's game. And I do not get it, but you know, hey, as long as they're not hurting anyone, I guess do whatever makes you happy. We know it doesn't make them happy. They just do it because they think they have to. But oh no, you go. I'm just I'm doing that streamer thing of talking to myself. You got to get good at it if you want to be a streamer. So I understand. I talk to myself all day, so it's about time I put it to camera. It's either that or the cats. I don't think anybody wants to see that. I will probably be finishing up here in a couple minutes anyway, because I gotta get ready to go to the gym. It's arm day. Better than leg day, I guess. Leg day was rough yesterday. Still a little sore from it. Oh, okay. Just finish clearing all this out here. Oof. Okay. But yeah, I will probably be streaming tomorrow. I haven't decided what really I'm gonna do. I did my little random dungeon run that I did yesterday and the day before, um, but I don't know what to do next. I don't know if I should continue on making a bunch of random dungeons all in a row and figuring that out, or if I should. Oh, hello, Nerdy Sakura. Hello, welcome on in. We were just talking about how nerds are gonna save the world, more or less. So you joined at a good time. Um, So yeah, I'm not sure what else to stream in regards to my D&D stuff. I could do more random dungeons because those are always fun for me and they're fun to have in the back pocket as a DM. But is I I was talking to my husband yesterday. The reason I started doing this, I did a couple streams like uh struggling to make your D&D character. Oh man, I don't know what that's like. I have too many characters in my head at all times. Are you struggling mechanically or narratively with this character? Yeah, I the reason I started yeah, it do be like that sometimes. Um oh, my cats are being bastards again in the background. Bigger pardon. Um but well, tell me what you got so far about your character or the game or whatever it is, what you need them for. Um, I'd love to help or make suggestions. I don't know if I'll be helpful at all. I have so many snowballs. Um, you can throw these, right? Yeah. Um, Dragonlance. Okay. 8 playable races. Okay, I don't know anything about that world, so I don't know. Are there only 8 playable races in Dragonlance campaigns? Interesting. Um, oh my god, my cats are being absolute terrors. Give me 2 seconds. You continue to tell me about your story, or your character. I'm gonna let my cats out before they chew through the door. Hang on. Hopefully without tripping myself. There we go. Oh God, I died. What the hell? How did I do that? That was my fault. That was dumb. There we go. That was That's okay. Oh shit. I see. Okay, I'm fine. Oh, I think I've lost the last bits of my armor. That's fine. Same personality of the character I play on Sundays. Tiefling Rogue, hell yeah. Who is very innocent-minded due to her family sheltering her. She doesn't understand it. Okay, sure, why not? There ain't nothing wrong with reusing characters. I do it all the time. Wait, I had a lot more stuff. Oh god, run, run. Oh, I got fucking destroyed by this guy. Oh my god, go away, please. Okay. Um, that's one way to make it an introduction, I suppose. Oh my god, this jerk. And there's a witch outside. How the hell? Wow, I'm Monster City right now. Hello. Alright, dope. I love playing innocent characters. Um, so isn't the main thing about Dragonlance is you're supposed to be able to ride dragons eventually? That's the whole thing, right? I've actually never read the books and I probably should. I'm sure I'd enjoy them. Don't giggle at me, witch. Oh, these guys are dicks. Can I go to sleep? This guy's really harshing my buzz. What do you have? You have a nautilus shell. Why do you have a nautilus shell? Oh no! You know what? We're just gonna hang out here and I'm gonna talk to you guys. Um, but, um, let's see. Yeah, I enjoy being youngest members. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. I've played quite a few childlike characters in the past. So I assume she's just the arcane trickster because she likes playing pranks and stuff like that. Um, she doesn't understand death and the like. I mean, that's an interesting part, but also it makes for good trauma later on should somebody in front die in front of them. Of course, that depends on the game and ooh, there's thunder outside. If I suddenly go off stream, it's because I lost power suddenly because of the storm coming. So, beg your pardon. But yeah, Evan, tell me like what my next stream should have specifically. I know world building, but like what part of world building? I don't. What I've shown you is pretty much what I've got. Thought her sword bow was just knocking people. Jesus Christ! You made a tiny sociopath Lord of the Flies child. Okay, sure, why not? um, so if you generally enjoy playing the youngest and like sheltered characters, I mean, if that's what you like, do it. Um, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get an idea. I guess I could. I mean, I've been struggling with like mapping and stuff because I have no idea how to use like programs on making maps. So I guess I could start from there because I have a for the sorry buddy. I don't know where it is right now. But I've got a hex grid um for the valley that they're going to be going to. So I guess I could figure out the rest of the world outside of the valley and go from there. First fight was in a burning bar. She shot them in the neck, rescued the body from the burning, and told the gang leader to get their man. Jesus. So has she never been shot and hurt herself then? Does she not realize what pain is? I build from the bottom up. There's right, yeah. By three generations. Who's there now? Anyone else join them? Right. Well, I could definitely start once I remember where the hell I put my hex grid. I have to figure out the two surrounding hexes to the hex that they're starting at. So I could definitely round those out. So I can start there and then maybe zoom out a bit and then go to places that the characters won't necessarily be because I honestly have most of the first session more or less figured out. Um, well, I know Incarnate. I had a paid subscription for a while, but I had to let it lapse because I currently am unemployed, so had to let stuff like that kind of, go off. Um, so I've tried a couple one the random generators. Did I have? Hang on, 2 seconds. Let me see here. Do do do. She knows emotional pain. Racist human, sure. Oh, that's interesting. Is this a level one campaign? I don't remember if I had a map figured out yet. Give me 2 seconds to check. Where's my thing? Desktop. There we go. No, I have the town map. So far. Okay, we're gonna get out of here again. I don't. So far, I have the town map here. Nothing much. I just use the Oh, that random map generator that everybody uses. I forget what it's called. So, with the Dragonlance character, if you're reusing her, is that starting at level 1? Using Wonder Draft, no sub, still. There's. Okay, I've heard about Wonder Draft. So, uh, yeah, maybe I'll consider it later down the line. Yeah, I've usually been just using the free versions of things. Canvas of Kings. It would just be the personality. Okay. Well, if it's level 1, then uh it absolutely makes sense for her to have no experience. So if you're starting at level 1, then I have no problem with that backstory of a sheltered child suddenly getting out and realizing that the world is a little bit more painful than previously thought. For me, I'd like it personally, if I'm reusing a character, it's usually because it's a one shot or a low stakes kind of game. If it's going to be a campaign, personally, I would like a different arc of a character. Um, oh, well, that'll do it. Yeah, well, that'll give you a different arc, certainly. An innocent child in a apocalypse. Make sure they survive. Don't know if they will. And Evan, I have Dungeon Alchemist, which is a great little game. I might mess around with that at some point. I could just build my little the little Eldritch dungeon that I made previously in Dungeon Alchemist, but I don't know how interesting that would be since it would just be kind of like rehashing it. Um, yeah, I've never used virtual tabletops. My friend just bought it for me to build little dungeons in because I just like doing that stuff because it's like playing house but with monsters. Um, and I just love playing around with it. It's super fun. So maybe I'll do that. So yeah, I guess I could do a bunch of little things. Like I'll fill out that hex grid, those two hexes there, and then um, refigure the dungeon in Dungeon Alchemist. So yeah, maybe I'll do some little things. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Yeah, that's a possibility. Um, but yeah, Nerdy, if you think that this game will give you a different enough arc for your character, yeah, so that's all you need. I mean, more power to you. I have favorite classes and stuff, but I generally like to play different ones for every character I need. But if you want to reuse a character, absolutely do so. If that's how you have fun, and that is the most fun type of character for you, never stop. Keep it going. Make her exist in every pocket dimension. Stamp based, realistic map render style. Map forge. Okay. Sounds interesting. Oops. Ah, not Amazon. How dare you? Map. Work with me. D&D. This one? Oh, I see. Cool. One word. Okay. Is this the one or is this something else? Ah, cool. Thank you. Open the link. There we go. Oh, jeez. Okay, I see here. Oh, they have modern stuff too. That's fun. Ooh. Okay, that's a possibility, definitely. I don't know what this one is, but that's also interesting. um, 2E campaign since my first. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I guess I could just kind of jump around to see what I'm most inspired to do tomorrow. I don't know what time my stream will be tomorrow because uh, going to ask to use the same character. I didn't get to buy some. Hey, I've done that with a couple of my own characters that I didn't get to see past a couple sessions. I'm just like, no, please take my goblin barbarian and let her be something for a while. um, but yeah, I could figure out the dungeon map in virtual tabletop as well as the hex grid. So maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know how long that stream will be, but we can figure out stuff as we go. Um, oh, so you like to play really out of the box little characters. Tiefling Kitsune? Wow, that was an interesting pairing between her parents. Although I guess technically that is like demon on demon, if you depending on the mythology. I don't know a lot of Pathfinder, so beg your pardon. I don't if I say something wrong, but that is funny. Yeah, I generally Tiefling got removed. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that would make sense, huh? So they didn't do something like that they could Kitsune ancestry. Huh. Kitsune ancestry. Interesting. I'm learning all kinds of stuff. um Oh, the reason I'm so washed out is because my freaking screen is always white because I got documents up. That would explain it. Hurricane. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, so I hear about Pathfinder. Um Okay. So that lightning is getting a little close. So I think I don't know if you can hear the thunder. I think I'm going to actually end my stream here, and hopefully the weather is better tomorrow and won't possibly blow out my computer. um, so if you guys want to hang out tomorrow, I will be streaming hopefully sometime in the afternoon, maybe around 3 or 4. Oh, thank you for that. And we will figure out exactly what I'm doing and what I'm inspired to do tomorrow. Please come by. Thank you guys so much for following and dropping by. I never expected so many people in chat at any one time. I can't believe it that so many people are willing to come chat with little me. So please, if you found this interesting and entertaining, please come back and chat with me again. I just want to make more friends in the community, and hopefully we can make pretend happen. It is fam. It absolutely is fam. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and we'll build some more stuff together, I hope. So thank you so much again. Have a great day. Keep playing pretend and being creative. Drink your water, take your meds, get good sleep, take a shower. All right. Love you guys. Thank you, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.